Okay, the final thing that I want to show you are some kind of creative or even practical purposes for using Notebook LM, either professionally, as yourself, and I've given you some ideas as far as a curriculum organizer and lesson planner, that sort of thing. But what about some ways that are maybe a little bit more creative ways to explore using it? So I had a day um, this week where I wasn't feeling well and I stayed home and I wanted to play around with some of these different features. And so I was watching old reruns of The Office, which gave me some ideas. I wanted to take like a character from The Office and put them together with some characters of other sitcoms and just like to create something like brand new. So imagine, you have some sort of creative writing project and you want to allow the kids the opportunity to explore some different combinations of things. And so what I did is I said, okay, I want to put, Jim Halpert into a sitcom along with, say, like a George Costanza, maybe a Phil Dunphy from Modern Family, and a Phoebe from Friends, and like put them into together. And so what I first did is I added some sources. And so I just went to like Wikipedia and I found out information from Wikipedia and I copied and pasted them into these different notes that you'll see here on this slide. And really to do that, all I had to do is actually because well, there's two different things you could do. You could paste them in as a source here, like I did from the copied text. You can also add your own notes here, and it will create a blank thing here, and you can copy and paste information into there as well, and that also works, right? And so I created these different pasted texts for the different characters I wanted to be in my new sitcom, and it is basically just like character information about them. So it's pulling from their character that they know here. And so I said, okay, now let's work to kind of like help develop a concept. How are these people, these four different people from four different fictional things, come together? And we started to explore some different ideas about where it could come from. And when we settled on that, Phil is, expanding his real estate agency to New York, and then hey, that brought in a character like George Costanza from Seinfeld, who's going to be living in this building that Phil is going to buy. And really, it was kind of like a co-pilot situation where I'm offering suggestions. The AI of Notebook LM is offering suggestions. We settled on kind of a setting, and then we created three different scenes together for the pilot episode of it. And so if I open up like this one here, it gives you a little bit of about the setting and the backdrop, and then it gets into some dialogue here where we find that Phil and Jim and George like all start to get together, and we've got the start of something here. I'm not saying it's going to be winning any sort of like Emmy awards for best new sitcom or anything like that, but
This is
um,
our next YouTube channel. Sitcom this is what
yeah,
we're working on.
sitcom this. And we open it up to suggestions, right, from viewers, like,
Yep.
hey, what characters should we put together and where should they be? Yeah. um right, so just a very creative process. I could see this being done in several different ways other than I mean, take characters from novels, for example, and have them be placed into a different setting, whether or not you're trying to app smash them together with other characters or not. That's entirely, I'm sure you guys could think of a lot of different directions to go with that.